Linebacker Smael Mondon had a 5-star performance over the weekend, and I've got the highlights to prove it. What's going on, guys? Matt DeBary, DawgPost.com. This kid's a big Georgia target. He's a 5-star kid. I went up to watch him play against North Hall this past weekend in the Paulding County season opener, and he did not disappoint. You can watch it here. Multiple tackles in that first half. He was all over the ball. Before this, coming into the game, I thought he was a really good athlete trying to play linebacker and developing at linebacker, but from what I saw out of him this past weekend, he is a true linebacker now. Sideline to sideline guy, doesn't have elite speed, but good enough speed to go sideline to sideline, but his instincts are what really stood out to me. He times the ball well in the middle of the box. Not only can he take on blockers to free up other defenders to make the tackle, but he can shed blockers too. He was all over the football, made a lot of plays, played on offense like he did last year. Carried the ball a few times, didn't look that great running the ball, had a couple catches, but he's a linebacker. That's where he's going to play at the next level, and that's where he stood out this past weekend. It was easy to see why Georgia, Auburn, Florida, LSU, all these other schools are pushing for him. He definitely looks the part in pad 6'3", 215. He's a warrior in the weight room, puts up a lot of weight. There's just a lot to like about his game, and he is developing more and more into a true linebacker instead of just an athlete out there roaming around making tackles. But forced a fumble late in the game, late in the first half, but just all around the ball, he snuck out a screen, just got off blocks consistently. Didn't rack up the stat sheet. He got a little banged up here and there, and so they didn't use him as much in the second half. But in that first half, when they needed him, when they needed a go-to play on offense, they gave it to Smael. When they need a big stop on defense, Smael was the guy who made the tackle. So well worth it for me to go up and see him. As far as his recruitment goes, I still think Auburn's probably the team to beat here. Georgia's in the mix. Florida's in the mix. So is Tennessee and LSU. So he's pretty open as far as, dropping like a top 10 or top 5. I do think it's probably down to those 5 schools, but I do think Auburn is leading the pack right now. But if Georgia were to get this kid, it would be a big deal, and I saw it firsthand over the weekend. Another game that I saw featuring multiple Georgia targets was the Brookwood-Decula game. I'm going to start with the Nylon Morset, 2022 wide receiver. Started his career at Marietta, then I believe went up to Maryland, played at St. Francis Academy. Now he's down back in Georgia, and he went off. I think he had over 10 catches, 200 yards, a couple touchdowns for sure that I saw. The first one got the scoring off 77-yard slant that he took to the house. Really, really impressive kid. He's a kid that I heard about as an 8th grader, so I've known about him for a few years now, and his life changed after this game. He was one of the best players on the field. You probably could say he was the best player on the field that game, but right after that, he picked up offers from Georgia, Alabama, Oregon, and a few others. But I think those were the big 3 that said, you know what, great game, here's an offer. So it was a life-changing game for Denylon, and he's going to have all the offers soon. The Alabama one was big. I think they're probably the team to beat now, but 6'1", 180 pounds, great ball skills, faster than I thought. He knows how to get open. He can run routes. Still developing, though. And if he can develop the right way, just work on that consistency in the route running, he's going to be a big-time player. I think he's probably the better wide receiver that Brookwood has. The other one, Sam Mbake, another 2022 kid. He's another guy with the Georgia offer. A little bigger, 6'3", about 205. Reminded me a lot of Jeremiah Holloman for you Georgia fans out there. Long, kind of tall, decent athlete. He's not the fastest guy, but he can beat you deep. Had a really nice play where he took a screen pass about 40, 50 yards, fumbled at the end, but he got a little tired. He broke a few tackles, made a couple guys miss on the way there, and at the very end of the play, he did fumble. But he's another guy with big, strong hands, possession receiver who's still working on consistently getting open and creating separation from the defenders. If he can continue that route running and be able to get open on his own and not make catches with guys all on him just because of his strong hands and ability to catch the football, I think he's another guy who's going to climb the rankings in the 2022 class sooner than later. So those are 2 kids that Georgia's offered, 2 wide receivers out of Brookwood, and with Dylan Lonergan, the 2023 quarterback, throwing it to him all year, I expect both of those guys to have big-time stats as we grow towards the season, and I think they're going to fill up that stat sheet by the end of the season. So 2 guys to know, definitely standout players. They both had at least 8 catches. I know Denylon had a little bit more and reached the end zone a couple times, but those are 2 guys to definitely know. If you're in Gwinnett County, make sure you get over there and check those guys out. So just a few guys that I was able to see this past weekend that have Georgia offers. Guys, I really appreciate y'all watching this video. As always, make sure to stay tuned to the next video coming up right now, and I will see you on the website.